Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Strawberry Hill Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Simmons, and we are always here at the Shop Cigar Lounge. Like I say, every week, come down to see us. We got live music every Friday and Saturday. We just celebrated our 2-year anniversary, which was a banger. It was a big party. So if you missed out, your fault. But anyway, make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Make sure you follow us on all the social media platforms at Strawberry Hill Podcast. And we're going to get going with today's episode on what episode are we on? 60 what? 66. Well, yeah, that's not the greatest number, but we made it though. But we got Mr. Jiu-Jitsu, Mr. Waiko Jiu-Jitsu himself, Mr. Ray Freeman. Man, how are you doing?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. I'm fantastic. I'm feeling good. It's Thursday. It's kind of my day off of jiu-jitsu, so let the body rest. And then
that's good to hear.
To
everybody needs a day off.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially from jiu-jitsu because you're always banging and
very physically demanding job.
Yeah. So is it One Community Jiu-Jitsu?
One Community Jiu-Jitsu. That's the name of our organization. We're one of very few nonprofit jiu-jitsu initiatives that are in this nation. Our whole mission is to make jiu-jitsu affordable for all.
Yeah.
Our vision is seeing Brazilian jiu-jitsu instilled in the public school system and other community centers across the country. So
how long you been running the organization?
So I started One Community Jiu-Jitsu in February of 2020.
Oh, yeah. The perfect time to do it. It was just, nothing happened in March or nothing.
Yeah, nothing crazy happened like a couple weeks later.
Shut the whole country down.
Dude, it was quite the whirlwind. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to ever do jiu-jitsu again, let alone start a jiu-jitsu organization.
Yeah.
So glad we made it through.
Well, yeah, tell me about that, though. You started it in February.
Yep.
And then
so we started in February, and lockdown happened. So it was kind of a blessing in disguise. You know what I mean? Like, for me, I don't have a business background. I mean, I was just someone that wanted to do this out of the goodness of my heart. My heart told me to bring jiu-jitsu to Wyandotte County. Like, I saw that there were dozens of gyms in the KC Metro, but none in Waiko. And so I was like, I'll just start a nonprofit and we'll go ahead and do that. Lo and behold, COVID happened and it forced me to pump the brakes, right?
Yeah.
And it was about a year of kind of seeing, like, are we going to be able to even touch each other again? Are we ever?
Yeah, that had to have been tough because you literally could not have contact during COVID, and it is a contact sport.
Yeah. So we tried to wear like masks for a couple of days or a couple of weeks.
6 feet away from each other until we have to put a move.
Yeah, we can't do jiu-jitsu 6 feet away from each other. So that was a challenge. We had to sign like COVID waivers and but we were definitely spreading germs over each other.
Of course.
And the mask didn't help. Like, it's already hard enough to breathe when someone's trying to choke you, let alone like you got a mask on your face. So it was.
Now they're using it against you. They're rubbing the mask on your face.
There was a couple of those. Yeah, it was a good time. But man, we made it through, and once they lifted the restrictions, I was happy that we had those challenges because, without challenges, you don't know how far you can go.
Yeah. So what made you get into it? Like, what made you say, hey, I want to open up my own gym?
So, I had started training jiu-jitsu in late 2015, just looking for something to do to lose some weight. And, there was a soccer mom that was getting a private lesson, and she jumped on my back. She choked me 3 times in a row when I thought I'd be able to throw her around. Men, we kind of think that, right? She humbled me real quick. And so I found beauty there. I thought that, this was something that I can train and implement in my life. And when I realized that there was no jiu-jitsu gyms in KC.
That's true?
No, KCK.
Yeah,
sorry.
No. Especially KCK. That's what I mean.
In Waiko.
You're the only one?
We're the only ones in Waiko, which is, still to this day, 5 years later, we're still the only ones operating in Wyandotte County. And, to give you a little bit more background on jiu-jitsu, it's typically a fluent martial art. In the average memberships in this nation are going over about $200 a month for an individual to train. And so when you think about the typical demographic here in Wyandotte County, that is very, very tricky to ask for an individual to pay that amount. and spend that time, being uncomfortable, because let's call it what it is. It's not very comfortable.
No, not at all.
Yeah, we call it, we practice learning how to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
So you got into it. So tell me, I guess you started your first year. COVID happened.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yep.
But then I guess after that, like, how's it been going since then?
Yeah, so we started in Blessed Sacrament Elementary School, or what was formerly Blessed Sacrament Elementary School. We took over a classroom that used to hold, elementary kids, and we laid some mats down. In those origins, we were able to hold about 12 students total on the mats, 700 square feet of space, not big at all, but enough to, get going. And since then, we've grown to, Turner Recreation Commission, where we have closer to about 2,000 square feet of space. And we also piloted a program at Lindbergh Elementary School, which is, again, our end goal is to see Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practice in public schools. So that's how it's been going, man. It's been slow progression, just looking to create more opportunities, especially here in Wyandotte County, to train Jiu-Jitsu.
And so you've been doing it since 2015.
Yeah, I've personally been training since 2015. I started at a gym called American Top Team that was run by Jason High and LC Davis. Both of those guys are kind of prominent on the mixed martial arts scenes. LC Davis, he fought Bellator, MMA. Jason High, he's fought Bare Knuckle FC. He's fought UFC as well.
I ain't messing with nobody bare knuckle.
Bruh, yeah. Dude's crazy. Love you, Jay High, but I ain't fighting bare knuckle.
No.
But, these guys are, the top echelon as far as combat sports, and that's where I got my origins. And I found the beauty that is jiu-jitsu. These guys... when you think about jiu-jitsu, you think about the arm bars, you think about the chokes, and there's a lot of that in the first 3 to 6 months. But after that 3 to 6 months, you really start to see, the physical benefits that you're gaining. You'll start to lose weight. You'll see the mental benefits that you're gaining. Like, you're maybe not carrying so much anger in your day-to-day because, like, you literally just fought. Like, after you fight, there's no...
there's nothing, like, crazier than after that. It's
exactly. Like, you're going to go sit down somewhere, right? A lot of mental release there. There's a great community building aspect of it. I tell people the story of when my wife was pregnant, I didn't have anyone to help me move. And so when I announced that to my jiu-jitsu gym, they pulled up with a truck and 6 dudes. And
that's awesome.
Dude, that was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. A great self-defense, right? Very practical self-defense. If you look at UFC, you're going to see jiu-jitsu. You can't go into a combat situation and not have a ground fighting knowledge base. And UFC's proven that time and time again. Last but not least is the humility portion. I always got to hit on that because there's not a whole lot on the day-to-day where people get to practice humility, actually practice the art of being open-minded until you're, dead or in jail. Then you hear people talking about, oh, man, I wish, I would have learned this. I wish somebody would have told me that. In jiu-jitsu, you're going to get that humbling experience. You're going to get that humility, and hopefully it carries into your day-to-day.
Yeah, I hear that so much, like, from people that do jiu-jitsu, and I listen to Rogan all the time, and it's like they always talk about, like, the humility, and, like, when people get into jiu-jitsu, it's almost like you become a different person, but you become, like, a better person. Yeah. Because it's like you see the world different, and it's like you're more kind of mild and cool, calm, collective, because you're just like, I'm not trying to come out here and kill everybody. Like, but I can.
Yeah, can. Hopefully. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, we've all been through it. If you've trained jiu-jitsu, there's always going to be someone bigger, someone better, or someone with a weapon. Yeah. There's also that. And, dude, I'm not trying to risk my life because someone stepped on my hey dudes, you know what I mean? Or because, I felt, maybe mildly disrespected. Yeah. Like, we don't have to take it there. Maybe we can try to handle it with our words. But if you do attack the mousetrap, the cheese is gonna snap down on that man. It's gonna get snapped.
So I did a lot of ground fight when I was a cop, and I was like I was a trainer at it too, and even became a teacher at it, and I did that for years. And the funny, what just reminded me, of like our instructor. I remember going to, I forgot, it was somewhere in Casey Mo, like their police academy, and they had like all these instructors teaching the class, and one of they brought a guy down from another state, and he was like, certified badass guy, right? He's teaching us all this stuff, and he was telling us like how he was in New York or something, and guy like pulled a knife out and was like, "Hey, give me your money," and he just like, "Here you go."
Yeah, take it, brother.
And they were just like, everybody's just like, "Why didn't you? You could have easily."
Yeah.
Finney's like, "It's not worth it.
It ain't worth it.
Yeah, it ain't worth it."
No, sorry, Bob.
Yeah, and I think it's like kind of like once you get into that mindset, it's just like you choose when you want to fight your battles, and you don't have to fight that battle every single day.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Which I think is cool. And like when I doing that ground fighting, man, it's you're right. It's a work out, and I'm just doing ground fighting, and it ain't jujitsu. We were taught in the arm bars and stuff like that. Basic use of force stuff for cops, but there's so much more into it.
Yeah, no, well, there's actually been a lot of Gracie combatives that is kind of being infused into
we did the Gracie stuff there.
Really?
Yeah,
perfect. Yeah, so like that's kind of like the basics that you need to protect yourself on the ground or to control someone on the ground effectively without hurting them too, right? Because like in jiu-jitsu, we have a point where I am controlling you, but if I can't control you, then I will hurt you.
Yeah.
And I don't have, but hopefully I don't have to. Like, hopefully I can just control you, hold that arm there. But if you're still thrashing around, then we'll bend that a little bit, and we'll get that tap or we'll get that break.
Yeah, you sound dangerous.
It does sound dangerous, but
I said you sound dangerous.
It's a matter of fact, though. It's just like it's like, man, I've seen it, I've done it, I've lived it, and it's a cheat code. Like I have a cheat code in my back pocket. So going back to your friend with the knife and the self-defense situation, he knows he has the cheat code. Like he knows he's going to go rolling at 6 o'clock at his gym. He's going to be the baddest dude on the mats. Why does he have to do that here on the concrete?
Yeah, and he told me, he's just like, really, was it worth me losing my debit cards and like $50?
For real.
Like for me to hurt this guy or for myself to get hurt?
Yeah.
Because you never know. That guy could just be as lucky and it could be his day.
You're right.
You never know. He's
it could be.
Yeah.
It really could be.
And so I was like,
he could be as trained as your boy, That's always the thing that kind of gets me. It's like, you never know who is just as capable as you, right? Like, look at me, dude. I'm not a physically imposing person. 5'6", $175, and not muscle either. Like there's some fat in that $175. And I know that there might be a skinny person.
Tyrone here.
Yeah, it might be a skinny person. That might be able to just take me down and choke me unconscious. Because I've been with those people before. Yeah, so it's. There's a lot of humility that we learn on the mat.
So to open up your own gym, did you have to reach a certain level?
That's an interesting thing. I was talking about this to someone like 2 days ago. I tell people that once you get a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, you should be able to handle yourself against the average person coming off the street. So I had my blue belt. And me knowing that Wyandotte County had no jiu-jitsu,
you were the only one.
I was like, dude, I should be able to handle the average person coming off the street, and that should make me certified enough to at least show the basics.
Yeah.
Sure, you're not going to come in here if you're wanting to be world champion, you're wanting to be UFC guy, but if you want to learn basic jiu-jitsu, I can teach you that. And that's what gave me the confidence to open my own gym.
So are you still blue belt, or are you up from there?
So I've been ranked to purple belt since about a year and a half now. 2013, the end of 2013 is when I got my purple belt. So white, blue, purple, brown, black are the traditional belt ranks.
White, blue, purple, brown, black.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So nothing's above black.
Well, then you get stripes on your black belt that certify degree. So first degree, second degree, third degree, all the way up to ninth.
God damn.
Yep. And once you get a 9th degree black belt, then you
should be fighting somebody professionally. Yeah.
Well, usually that signifies a lifetime of training.
Yeah.
So the average American takes about 10 years to get their black belt in jiu-jitsu, and then about 2 years per degree.
Yeah.
So if you think about in that terms, like if you were a 9th degree black belt, you've been training probably 35 years.
Yeah.
And once you get to the 50-year mark, we have a Coro belt. But I mean, again, that's a lifetime.
So me being a novice at it, what does it take to get, like, white belt is just like intro, right?
Yep.
And then so what does it take to get like the next one and the next one?
That's a good question. It's kind of
just up to kind of you.
It's kind of there's a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? There's a lot of slack in what it takes to get a blue belt. Some gyms, they have a curriculum. Like you have to learn 2 takedowns and be able to execute them. 2 submissions from side control, execute them. 2 escapes from mount, execute them, right? Some gyms will be like, oh, this he's tapping all the white belts. He probably should be a blue belt, right? It kind of showcases in a skill. Some gyms are more looking for how you are with your technique and your maturity level, right? Like I've seen guys that are great at jiu-jitsu, but they're hurting people, right? Like that's not the sign of a blue belt. The sign of a blue belt is
you got to learn control.
Can you effectively control your opponent without hurting them? And if I do hurt you, I meant to do that.
Yeah.
You know? So I would say those are the kind of the variables of what help people level up.
So are you hoping to get to like a 9th degree black belt one day?
You know, that's a good question. I haven't really thought about it.
It's just like
I'm having a fun time learning, dude. I'm on the journey, like, and I think that's like the beauty of jiu-jitsu. It kind of teaches you like not to rush life, not to rush to getting to all your accolades. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the learning process. Because once you get to the accolades, you'll never be able to go back. Like as a purple belt, Mike, bro, there are days I wish I was a white belt. Because let me, dude, like I get no more easy rolls, you know, no more easy spars for me. Like someone's always trying to take my head off. I'm in the middle, right? Like white, blue, purple, brown, black. Black belts are looking to kill me. White belts are looking to kill me.
You got everybody coming after you. You're like, hey, I'm just trying to teach you.
Yeah, I'm just trying to chill, bro. Yeah. So there are days where I wish I was a white belt again. And like, man, enjoy that and embrace that time where you don't know anything because there's beauty in that.
So where did you grow up at?
I'm born and raised Waco.
Are you really?
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Born and raised Waco. Yep. So my mother lost her parental rights when I was 12. I moved around a lot. So I went to Lindbergh Elementary School. I went to Frank Rushton Elementary School. Then I went to Emerson. Then I went to Silver City. Then I went to Argentine Middle School.
This is all before 12 or
so Silver City and then Argentine Middle School. Then I got in foster care. Arrowhead Middle School, Central Middle School. Then I moved to Texas for a year or 2. And then Schlegel High School. And finally, my last house placement in foster care was in Junction City.
Junction City, Kansas.
Junction City, yeah. I was at Fort Riley, actually.
Yeah, let's say all the way out of Manhattan.
Exactly, yes, sir. Which is how I got to K-State.
Yeah, hey, I'm a K-State guy, too.
I got EMAL. Let's go.
Yeah, hey. Y'all hear that, all you KU and MU people?
EMAL. Yeah. So, yeah, man, I moved around a lot, which there were some challenges there, but, you know, I'm a glass half full kind of guy. I feel like it gave me a lot of unique perspectives.
Yeah, man, you moved around a lot. And so when you jumped into foster care, you said your mom gave up her parental rights?
Yeah, so she lost her parental rights, which, you know, she was a single mom, you know, struggling in the 90s and early 2000s. Long story short, just didn't do what she needed to do to keep her kids. And
so do you have brothers and sisters then?
I have 3 younger sisters.
Did they all move around with you too?
Yeah, we all got sent into foster care. And so my youngest sister, she was lucky enough to get picked up by her father's side of the family.
Yeah.
And then my 2 other sisters, we were together for like 3 or 4 years, but then we got separated in the foster care system. So,
that's tough.
Yeah, it was real tough, brother. Real tough.
You still have a relationship with them though?
So it's a estranged relationship to say the least. You know, you get a lost contact, you kind of lose, just the similarities that you have. And, you know, one of my sisters I am pretty close with. The other, you know, we don't really have much of a relationship, but same with most of my family. Like that's kind of why I'm a lone wolf, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know.
What about your mom? You still got a relationship with her?
Not so much, you know, and that came a little bit later as I realized as an adult, like I will never do anything to put my kid in that kind of a situation.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like when kids and children like grow up and they got, you know, just a lot of chaos around them. Like, it's like you either come out of it in a good way or you kind of live that chaos when you grow up. And just like, I love seeing when people, when they grow up in the, you know, kind of chaotic childhood, when they kind of grow out of it and then they get kids and they want to like, hey, my kids are never,
you'll never get a glimpse of what I went through. And you know, as cool as a guy I like to think I am, it gave me a nice little perspective on my life. Too many challenges, and as kids, man, you want to save their innocence, you want to save their bliss. Dude, when I turned 12, like I became an adult.
Yeah.
You know, I had to, you know, step up to make sure that my sisters and me were kind of, you know, aligned and together and trying to protect them. And, you know, when we got separated, I lost a bit of myself. I lost a bit of my identity in that. So it was tough.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. It's like kind of like, what did you get out of that foster care experience?
Yeah. You know, I gained, well, like I said, I gained an early adulthood. I gained the fact that if I don't take care of myself and surround myself with positive people, then my life's not going to go the way that I want it to go.
Yeah.
I realized that pretty early on. Just moving around from home to home, I got to experience different people. I got to experience the bad ones and the good ones. And I was like, oh, I definitely don't want to be around.
And then you don't get a choice too.
Oh, no.
They're just like, hey, you're going with this family now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. To put you in the perspective of 12-year-old me, you know, I had hopes of going home. I thought I was going home at some point. Right. But it seemed like year after year to no control of my own. I would just get moved. Right. Maybe foster parents didn't want to be foster parents anymore, so we get moved, or maybe they think that we're, you know, misbehaving for whatever reason, so they move us. Or
it's wild. It's just like they got a return policy.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, we're done with this.
Yep.
Can't do that with your own kids, but you can do that with foster kids. That makes no sense,
brother. And like, it showed me, you know, that people are, interesting creatures.
Yeah, not all people are good people, but there are a lot of good people.
Yep, there are. So I'm not one of those guys that look at people as like they're all bad.
No, yeah.
But I definitely I'm side eyeing almost everybody until you show me I
ain't gonna trust you until I can get some trust in you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, oh man, that's a crazy life, bro. That's
You know, I've been told multiple times I should write a book.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll get around to it, but the story's not done.
Yeah.
You know, I still got some pages to put in that book, right? And one community jiu-jitsu club is a part of that journey.
And I kind of see kind of why you went into that jiu-jitsu world, because it's like it's a family. And yeah.
I didn't have to say it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. And it's like, you know, you got your family and it's all different walks of life, and and you can show your, you know, humility and show all kind of things that you can approve from being in jiu-jitsu.
I lean into my jiu-jitsu community as they were my family, right? If you know, if we want to hang out or have a barbecue, I'm usually going to invite my jiu-jitsu family. If we're having a birthday party, a lot of my jiu-jitsu family shows up to that, right? Which you typically do in family events, but the jiu-jitsu community is my family.
Yeah.
And they can become your family, whoever's listening to this, right? Like, if you want to try jiu-jitsu, join jiu-jitsu and lean into the jiu-jitsu community. Because listen, once you sweat on each other and once you tried to choke each other, once I've smelled your armpits, brother, I love you now. We a thing now, you know. So whether you like it or not.
And so, what made you? I guess what was the kind of catalyst of where you're just like, because you do a lot of community work.
Yes, sir.
So you're not just a jiu-jitsu gym. Like, you actually go out and do a lot of stuff for the community. You do a lot of stuff with like the foster stuff. Like
Yep.
you do a lot. So like kind of what led you into that field?
So I was in corporate America until about 2018.
I can't see you in corporate America, bro.
Yeah, right. Well, and when I say corporate America, dude, I was a salesman at like Sprint.
I'm thinking like suit and tie. Like,
Which,
he's
you
like
know,
John Wick.
I was heading in that direction though. Like I had ambitions of being a district manager and then sales lead, you know what I mean? And then, so in 2018, I started jiu-jitsu in 2015, right? Had kind of 3 years of cultivating in that jiu-jitsu scene, soaking in that culture. And with the KCK, I was looking for a job.
Yeah.
I saw the Learning Club of KCK was hiring for an assistant site director. The Learning Club of KCK is an after-school tutoring program. They basically bring in adult volunteers to have one-on-one interaction with the kid and help them with their homework and just emotional skills, social skills. And so I joined that workforce. And that's where I learned about the nonprofit sector. I mean, I didn't know that you could get paid like working in nonprofit. I thought that when everyone was volunteers, right? And so working at the Learning Club kind of taught me how the nonprofit sector is a business. But then I realized that they were doing great as far as educationally helping the kids. Some of the students were needing that physical element as far as what I identified. I was like, the jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Like they need jiu-jitsu, right? If I can get some of these kids in jiu-jitsu, we can give them that one-on-one attention. We can give them that interaction. We can give them that
mentorship and everything. Yeah.
All of that, right? So that's kind of what leads to One Community Jiu-Jitsu Club being formed. I was actually tried to get the Learning Club to instill it under their programming. There was a little bit of pushback there. No ill will. I was like, you know, as jiu-jitsu players, if I can't go this way, I'm gonna go that way. And that's what I did. Like, if your guys aren't gonna help me do it, like I'm gonna just do it my own.
Yeah.
Started a GoFundMe on Twitter, raised about $5,000. Miss Chandra Green, you know Chandra? Wonderful lady. Shout out Chandra. She donated a couple of grand to our organization when she had Alive and Thrive. That's where we purchased those mats that are in Blessed Sacrament. Because the largest expense in jiu-jitsu is the space and the mats. Dude, I mean, 700 square feet of mats cost me $5,000.
Holy smokes.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
And so if I want to put mats in a basketball gym,
Ooh, I couldn't imagine.
yeah, we're approaching $20,000, $30,000 easy. And again, talking about Wyandotte County, that's hard to come by. It's hard to come by. And so that's kind of where Once Community Jiu-Jitsu Club gets its origins. I started at the Learning Club, learned about the nonprofit sector, started raising money on our own, and laid some mats down. Started hosting programming.
Yeah. So how many people do you got in your organization now?
Yeah.
Or at the gym?
In the gym. Yeah. So we have both locations are running right now.
Lindbergh and West Sacrament?
Lindbergh is actually on a pause. We're hoping to raise some capital so that we can go back into the school this year. But
so how can people raise capital for you?
Yeah.
I don't want to gloss over that.
Perfect. Yeah. If you are in a position to write One Community Jiu-Jitsu Club a check, however big you can write that check, please do. That'll help us pay for instructors at the schools to teach them jiu-jitsu. That'll also help us pay for flex mats because that's one of our biggest expenses. It'll also help us pay for the uniforms, the gis that the kids are wearing. So yeah, if you want to get involved, those are your best ways to do it.
Okay, sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah.
So how many people?
Yeah, so the OG location is still running, and like I said, you can only fit about 12 people in there before that's capped. But it's capped. We cap that out every time. And then at Turner, we've been booming there over the last 2 months, man. I think we probably have 30 kids registered.
Oh, that's awesome.
Probably about the same amount of adults.
So do you do it how many times a week do you do it?
So we're 4 nights a week, every weekday except for Thursday. That's why I'm chilling today. Like I'm Not doing no
So
jujitsu
do you
today.
move around? I guess, one night it's on Monday, one night it's on Wednesday. I mean, like another place on Wednesday.
Yeah, good question. So we have help with instruction now. At the OG location, I got Justin Louie, who's a amateur MMA fighter and a Wyandotte County himself. He's holding down the classes there. He's a purple belt in jiu-jitsu as well. And then at the Turner location, we have a group of volunteers, Michael Day, Kayla Day, myself, and my wife. We help out at that location.
So your wife's in jiu-jitsu too?
Oh, yeah, brother. It's a family activity.
Yes, you better not be arguing with her. Just take you down in a heartbeat.
Bro, it's honestly, cuddles have become not fun.
Yeah. She's like, I could get a rear naked choke here.
Yeah, dude.
It's like trying out moves while you guys are. There's definitely a big difference on Netflix and chill.
Yeah, I be trying to cuddle her, and she's like digging for the underhook. Like, I'm like, man, these ain't fun no more. I can't just cuddle you.
I think it's funny you say that because when I was doing a lot of ground fighting and I was the use of force instructor at the sheriff's office, I would always you do those moves all the time, so you just catch yourself and you're hanging out with somebody just
yeah,
just get they're like, what are you doing? Like, bro,
I'm just hanging out, bro.
I just want to take you down for some odd reason.
Yeah, dude. It's so nice. You gotta show them the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I encourage all families to train jiu-jitsu because it's a great family friendly activity. Like, we're literally on top of each other. Like, we're hugging, we're releasing those endorphins, and we're learning together.
Yeah.
We're spending time with each other. There's not a whole lot of activities where everyone can participate. And jiu-jitsu can do that.
I need to get into it.
Come on, brother.
I need to get into it.
This is a sales
I know.
video.
Hey, I'm this close. I just got to find time. That's my thing. I got to figure out. Do you do it on Mondays?
Yep, every weekday except Thursday. So,
What time?
So 6
I'm
p.m.
like,
for our
forget
adults.
the podcast. Let me talk about
6 p.m. is when our adults starts, and we do 5 o'clock for kids. Yep.
Yeah, I need to get back into it.
Yeah, you'd love it, man.
Yeah.
You would love it. And actually, we've been getting a lot of more the older adults that want to. Not calling you old, but
Yeah, all
hey,
right,
brother,
all right.
hey, man. I mean, I put myself in that category, bro. Anyone over 35, we've been getting more people.
The geriatric
The people that got bad knees, right? They don't. Have
I heard you laughing over there, bro.
They don't have confidence in their shoulder no more. But we try to create a friendly environment for them to learn. And we're not world beaters, bro. We're all just trying to learn a little bit of jiu-jitsu and get a good workout.
So I guess give some people some info. I guess how much is it to join, or how much is it a month? And
yeah, so our nonprofit, we try to make it affordable for everyone. So we've actually just started a blanket across the board, $25 a month membership.
oh, that ain't
Can't
bad
beat it,
at
bro.
all.
You'll never find anything like this.
You're making it just more for me. I'm like,
Right. It's like just bring yourself, right?
Yeah.
So
I'll be there so y'all can beat my ass.
exactly. But of course, we're not making really any money doing it that way. So our goal is to, hopefully corporate sponsors that are listening to this would chime in. People that, oversee grant opportunities would chime in here just to help us subsidize this programming. Because, this is a great community building activity. And if you ask me, Wyandotte County doesn't have enough community building activities.
No, and I know this sounds crazy, but there's not enough programs for kids out in Wyandotte County. And we got a lot, but got a lot of kids.
Yep, got a lot of kids.
A lot of kids.
And
not every kid, because there's a lot of programs that are almost kind of the same. And it's you got something different that kids can latch onto. I ain't never done that. Let me get into that.
You want to do actually probably about 30% of our kids at Turner, most of their parents are saying that. They're saying they tried everything. They tried soccer. Turner boxing's right upstairs. They tried boxing. They tried everything. Kick, whatever. Jiu-jitsu helps them, figure out how to use their body, make friends, and it doesn't feel like a sport.
Yeah.
Although it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it. And I think that's where the kids kind of get lost in the sauce. With kids, you kind of got to trick them into what they might like, right? And we trick them into thinking that jiu-jitsu is, I'm using the word trick, but we trick them into thinking that jiu-jitsu is, it's a game. And it is, but it's also a self-defense. And so you're getting it all in one.
That's cool, man. So MMA, do you watch MMA, or you kind of just
Bruh, talk about my origins. That's how I got into it.
I know, because I'm wondering, like, did you ever like let me get in some fights, let me get some professional stuff.
I was a big fan of MMA pretty much in my late college years. So 2011, 2012, it's kind of like when I started. Anderson Silva was,
The GOAT.
Undefeated. Like he couldn't be touched.
Yeah, he just fought for too long.
Yeah. Well, bro,
After that leg break, ugh.
Oh.
I know all about it, about Chris Weidman. Yeah,
I hated Chris Weidman for a long time for that.
But then it happened to him.
Yeah, but then it happened to him, and I felt bad for him. So I love you, Chris, if you're listening to this. Ronda Rousey was on the rise, right? Like she was kind of in her rise, and her fights were ending in 1 minute arm bars.
My thing about Ronda, I'm glad we're talking about MMA because I'm a big MMA guy too. MMA and boxing are my jam.
Yeah.
But one thing, I love Ronda, but she was, not that she was overrated. There wasn't enough females that knew truly how to.
She
really
was on the ground floor of women's MMA.
I don't think there was a lot of. I don't want to say. I'm trying not to say it wrong, but she ran into Amanda Nunes, and Amanda Nunes knew what the fuck she was doing.
Yep.
She was a certified train killer.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I don't think Ronda Rousey ran into many of those. And I think when she ran into somebody that was well versed in everything, not just boxing,
because I love women's MMA, but it was so much in its infancy when Ronda was on the rise. Yeah. Like she could go in there.
She was the GOAT at that time, and it was almost like when Tyson was a boxing.
Yep.
There was just so much of a big difference.
Yeah, huge.
Him and everybody else. That he was just him and her just running through everybody.
Oh yeah. Well, once you ran into some high level strikers, it kind of showed that she was slacking in her hands and in her striking. Holly Holm exposed it first, and then Amanda Nunes solidified it. Right. And it was tough. It was tough for me to watch, right? I love Ronda Rousey. But it also, opened the world up for other women to join the sport. Made women's MMA more entertaining.
Ronda definitely, increased that. She definitely brought more women into the sport. And I remember when she fought Amanda Nunes, she was like, hey, you're the reason why I got into this. The reason why I wanted to keep going. Which was cool.
No, and it is. So definitely give her flowers. But that's Brock Lesnar who's got me into MMA. Full transparency. I was a WWF fan before I was a UFC fan.
I'm glad you said WWF. I still don't say WWE.
Me neither. Hey, man, I can't. Old school, baby.
Not WWE. WWF. I don't care. We're not getting sued. They get sued.
Nope, they get sued. But I was a big fan of WWF Attitude Era. So when Brock Lesnar took his fight with Shane Carwin, that's what kind of brought me into the sport.
Yeah. Yep. I'm surprised he won because Shane Carwin was a beast.
Oh, dude, that was incredible.
Yeah.
That was a crazy fight.
Yeah, because when he fought Frank Mir, it was more of Brock didn't really know what he was doing yet. Because he could have beat Frank Mir, but Frank Mir just easily got that ankle lock. Oh, yeah. I got you, bro. But then he beat him, and then Brock Lesnar ascended. And that's what kind of just especially with Brock, it's he was such an athlete.
Yeah.
He did football to wrestling, or wrestling to football or WWF and then the UFC. So because people are like, oh, he's a joke. That man is not no joke.
Absolutely not. Yeah. He's a legitimate wrestler. And if you really want to, I love jiu-jitsu, but if I have to put, the top tier martial arts in order, start with wrestling, then jiu-jitsu, then kickboxing, and then Muay Thai, then some judo, and then we can kind of start going into boxing and other things from there. But wrestling, if you have wrestling and jiu-jitsu,
bro,
that's a problem. Yeah. That is a horrible, and maybe a little bit of boxing, that is a horrible person. And so Brock had.
Look at John Jones. There you go, right there.
Yep,
he's got all of them.
He's got wrestler and great jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Honestly, we can go through all the list of champions. Yeah. So who's champ at 125 right now? Alexander Pantoja. He's pretty decent at grappling. Who's at 135? Marab? Is that Marab Devashvili?
Yeah,
he's a wrestler.
There's so many names I can't pronounce anymore.
145, Ilya Tapora.
Yeah.
And I mean, Alexander Volkanovski, Ilya Tapora, his fight that burst him on the scene was against Ryan Hall. Nobody wanted to fight Ryan Hall because he was just rolling on the ground, going under people's legs and ankle or knee barring and ankle locking, heel hooking people. Ilya Tapora shut that down and knocked him out. And it was just crazy. And since he's been undefeated.
So who's your favorite fighter?
My favorite fighter of all time, Frankie Edgar. Frankie the Answer Edgar. Because he fought at 155 and his walk around weight was probably 158. You know what I mean? Like, he was not a big guy. But he showed that, bro, you just got to be technical and have some willpower to come in here and be the champ. And he did that thing. He had some of the greatest fights ever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that'll always be my favorite fighter.
Mine's like GSP, John Jones, and I liked Rampage. Rampage was good because he was something new because he came from Pride, and he was just murking people when he got in.
Yeah,
that was
Rampage was definitely fun.
He is wild. Have you seen his stuff?
Oh yeah, he's crazy.
Like, bro, you've been hitting the head too many times.
Yeah, he don't put him on your podcast.
No, hell
no. But yeah, no, there's the MMA scene's changed so much from even like when Rampage was top guy, right? Like the evolution of MMA, like it is legit MMA now. MMA is its own.
Yeah, I would agree because like, especially like when they were brand new, because you had like when Gracie kind of got on, like he was just going through everybody. Nobody knew what the hell jiu-jitsu was. Yep. And then like your Chuck Liddell eras, like then he was just a fighter. He didn't really know much about jiu-jitsu. He just like I'm just gonna punch you and knock you out. And then now it's just like you got to know everything.
You have to.
Like you got to know how to box, and you got to know how to wrestle, and you got to know your jiu-jitsu. You got to know kickbox. You got to know everything because there's so many people that are well versed on everything, and you can't be slacking.
And there's so many in MMA. I've only done like a handful of MMA classes, but in MMA there's so much emphasis on stringing martial arts together. Like GSP, you mentioned GSP is one of your favorite. He used to do. They actually have a technique called the GSP double.
Really?
Because he used to do it all the time. He do a 1-2 straight into a double leg, right? So, and that's such a great combination that like it's now just a staple. If you go in an MMA gym, they're gonna call it GSP double. You know what I mean? And you hit the GSP double.
So, do you ever think about doing professionally? Not professionally, but like I guess having a professional fight or amateur fight. Like,
it's crossed my mind a lot, a ton. But I think I go back to like the sane me. It's like, dude, I don't want to get hurt. You know, like I know
got some sense.
I got some sense. You know, and I love all my MMA homies. Y'all the greatest. But I ain't getting hit in the head by nobody. Please. Please don't hit me in the head. Yeah, you know what I mean? But I do feel like if I did, I'd be okay. You know, like I train enough to where I should be okay. There's only one way to find that out for sure. And I don't know if I'm ready to find that out.
So you getting into golf too?
Bruh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you got excited. I saw it. Look in your eye. I have been into golf probably the last 10 years.
Oh, word?
And it's you talk about a hard sport. Like I know jiu-jitsu is hard. Golf, you want to talk about humility. Like you you think like because you can have one good shot, one good hole, and it can change for you because you'd be playing bad for weeks, months. You have one good shot, one good hole, and you're like, oh, I love this. Game.
It's the best.
Yeah, it's the best game.
Best game ever.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm the golfer that I'm to the point now where I can hit it.
Yep.
I can hit it consistently. Yep. I don't miss anymore.
Yep.
And I can hit it straight.
Oh, yeah.
Now, is it going to go as far as I want? I don't. It depends. Yeah. Is it probably going to go over the hole? Sometimes it will. But I know now I can. All right, I can hit the ball.
Yeah, that's hard. Yeah. And that's hard. People don't get it twisted. Hitting the ball is hard.
Game. Yeah, like I said, you want to talk about humility. Like I went out first time I played golf. I'm like, this game can't be that tough. Yeah. It's a ball that you're hitting with the club.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I played awesome, and my friends were like, "What in
This
the
man's a
hell
natural.
is going on?"
He's a natural.
I was like, "I told you guys this game was easy," and probably for 3 years I played horrible. I was like, "Oh, this game, I hate this game."
Oh man, no, it is that kind of a game. I think I fell in love with it because there's so many overlaps between golf and jiu-jitsu. You mentioned the humility. There's physical benefits. Definitely some mental benefits out there. You're out there with the birds, and they're just tweeting in the sun, and it's so nice.
So especially being out there on a nice day like today.
Yeah,
Can't get any better.
It's a great community.
Yeah.
Like if you find somebody that golfs, instant relationship. Like you saw, we going golfing. We're already thinking. I'm thinking, how can we get a tee time on the books already? So, but yeah, no, I've been golfing. I'm one of the COVID babies. You know, I started when we couldn't get close to each other.
Yeah.
So, but now I'm shooting. I'm probably an average. You know, I get a good 90, 95, and I'm pretty good in between there.
I'll even keep score. So
He's like, I'm not keeping score no more.
Yeah.
Recently, I've just been working on chipping and the short game. Like that's the hard part,
That's
in
the
my
hard part.
opinion.
Yeah.
Driving is easy.
Because I can drive.
Yeah.
It's just my iron game. I gotta. Yeah,
Yep,
that's hard.
I'm going
Especially
to
like if I'm at like 200 or 250.
Yeah.
And I'm on in the fairway. I'm like, God damn, it's gonna take me a while to get to the green.
Yep. Yeah, those par fives. Yeah, man, those are tough. Yeah, no, I've gotten a little bit better at trying to keep it not so unmanageable, right? And I think that's what golf is. It's how do you manage the course?
Yeah.
Are you taking risk? Are you going to try to shoot it over that tree and potentially bounce it behind you?
Yep.
Take another stroke, or are you just going to put it on the fairway where you can see the hole and then get an up and down
Strategy, just like jiu-jitsu.
Bruh,
Yeah.
quite literally. I'm glad you said that. I'm about to make some shirts that start saying golf is like jiu-jitsu or everything, like life. It's like jiu-jitsu. Tennis is like jiu-jitsu. Cooking, it's like jiu-jitsu. Pool, like jiu-jitsu. Podcasting,
like jiu-jitsu. So it sounds like you do a lot of work, do a lot of community work, you got a lot of hobbies outside of it. How do you balance that work life kind of, balance? Because you got kids at home and you're married.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna go back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier. Is jiu-jitsu? It's. I think it's brought my family really close together. Like we at least are going to be spending that hour of the day with each other.
That's because your kids do it too.
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, my son trains, and he's been training since he was 4 years old, and so we will always have at least that. But we try to find other things that we do too.
Yeah.
So my wife, she loves cooking. My son, he loves eating. I love eating. So
who doesn't love it?
So we're always trying to, get her to cook, some exotic things. And then me and my son were thinking about doing like a tasting channel, like where she cooks the meal. And then we kind of critique her like Gordon Ramsay chefs.
Watch out.
I know. Yeah. I know, for real.
You get one bad review, you'll be out the house.
She in a rear naked choke.
Yeah. Say, what you say about that chicken?
Yeah, for real. Yeah, no, but she's great. Shout out to the wife, Kat. Love you.
Yeah, don't get choked out tonight. So, where do you see, like, I guess, one community, jiu-jitsu, in kind of the next 5-10 years?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. So, we're actually, as a organization, thinking about a rebrand of sorts. Because like I said at the beginning, there's only a handful of nonprofits that are doing jiu-jitsu in this country. I did recently get in touch with one of them called the Guardian Project, and they have about 24 different locations across the country, and actually across the world. They have one in Peru. They just opened one in Ethiopia. And it aligns so much with our vision that, we're thinking about a potential licensing agreement to where we become Guardian Kansas City.
Yeah.
and that amplifies our impact. That helps us, scale to different areas and different schools and have better relationships with larger organizations. Because one thing about the nonprofit world, Mike, is that I'm realizing is it takes a while for you to get that seat at the table. As much as I would love to sit here and tell my aspiring founders of nonprofits that once you get your 501c3 status, grants are going to start raining down on you.
It works. Yeah.
Not even a little bit. It's going to take you a while to get that seat. So
yeah, you got to put in a lot of work, a lot of leg work, a lot of meeting with people.
Yep. And we still I haven't earned my seat yet. We are not one of those organizations that are getting the major grants.
Well, we'll try to get you at that table.
I appreciate it, brother. We're one of the organizations. We're grassroots. We're doing it, with a minimal budget, but we're doing a lot of good work with nothing. So
hard work pays off, man.
Yeah. No, I'm happy with where we're at, but we could use some help to get further.
All right. So last question. So what would you tell somebody that is thinking about getting into jiu-jitsu? Not me, because I already know the answer to my question. But like anybody out there, like they're thinking about it, or they're struggling with weight, or depression, and anything like. What would you tell somebody like? I guess it's time to sell one community.
Absolutely. I tell people there are 5 major benefits, and we talked about this earlier, but I'm gonna go through it again. There are 5 major benefits that you're gonna find in jiu-jitsu: physical health, mental health, community building, self-defense, humility. If you need any of those things, which I bet you do, come to jiu-jitsu. We'll help you. Come to One Community Jiu-Jitsu Club. We will help you find that. Somewhere in that, maybe you need a job. There's a guy that owns a employment service. Maybe you're looking to establish more business relationships. There are a lot of business owners that are training jiu-jitsu. I told you guys, it's a very affluent martial art. The average memberships in the nation are about $200 a month. Mark Zuckerberg is training jiu-jitsu.
Zuckerberg, he's changed completely.
Yeah, he looks different.
He looks different. He acts different.
Yeah. And that's what jiu-jitsu does to you, So it's going to put you in that network of people. Like, dude, I can go to Jackson Wink, sign the waiver, and train with John Jones right now if I wanted to. But I can't be scared. I can't be scared to get choked. I just have to know what I'm walking into, and it's jiu-jitsu.
So how do people find you?
One Community Jiu-Jitsu Club. We are easily found on Google. One Community Jiu-Jitsu Club, easily found on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Ray Freeman. I've recently found out that I am the second person that you Google if you Google Ray Freeman. Apparently, there's an English guy that was 98, recently passed. He was a philanthropist. He's the first one.
Oh, yeah?
I'm the second one. If you Google Ray Freeman, I'll be there.
The second one.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually all of them from there. It's all me. So outside of the first one, RIP to the English Ray Freeman. I'm the Ray Freeman.
Now you took the role. He's gone. Now it's you.
Hey, brother, I'm gonna make sure I take care of that name for you.
Well, man, I appreciate you being on, man. It's been a pleasure. Brother. Like I said, I gotta get my ass down there. So
yes, sir.
Hold me to it.
Hey, man, I'm gonna nudge you every now and then.
Yeah, I'll be down there. I gotta take at least a couple classes. I gotta get down there.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Like I said, appreciate you, bro. Pleasure. All you do, especially for all the community.
Pleasure. Yes, sir.
It's been good, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I
keep
agree.
up the good work.
Thank you.
Yeah, keep choking people out.
Maybe
that's your next word or next shirt. Keep choking people out.
Ooh, I like that one. Yeah.
All right. Hey, thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said before, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Make sure you follow us on all the social media platforms at Strawberry Hill Podcast, and we'll catch you next time.
Goodbye, everybody.